This is TV18 and you're watching CNBC TV18.
In 2010, Sonakshi Sinha made her debut with the monster hit Salman Khan's Dabanng. And even though the film was an out-and-out superstar vehicle, Sonakshi got noticed for a brand of earthy charm which is hard to find in modern-day Bollywood.
थप्पड़ से डर नहीं लगता साहब, प्यार से लगता है.
She went on to star in super hits like Dabanng 2, Rowdy, Rathore and Son of Sardar.
तो हंसते रहा कर, हंसते में बड़ा अच्छा लगता है तुम्हें.
But it's with the less successful 2013 release Lootera that Sonakshi finally got her due.
Pakhi अच्छी लड़की है.
As the lovelorn Pakhi in this period film from the 50s, Sonakshi wowed all her critics in a performance which combined grace, spunk and an undeniable old world charm.
इन अवार्ड की कीमत सिर्फ 1 साल की होती है.
This week she stars in yet another commercial entertainer, Once Upon a Time in Mumbai Dobaara.
बस दुआ में याद रखना.
In a candid conversation shot at the Orchid in Mumbai, Sonakshi tells Naomi Datta that her first preference will always be the masala potboiler, but that isn't stopping her from basking in the critical afterglow of Lootera.
Sonakshi, thanks so much for being on the A-list.
Not at all, my pleasure.
And it's great catching up with you right after, all these rave reviews for Lootera. Yeah. Are you still on a high? I mean, the amount of adulation and acclaim that you've got for this one role.
I am feeling on top of the world, actually. It still is sinking in. It hasn't entirely sunk in, but it's been fantastic. The entire experience of shooting a film like Lootera, working with such a fantastic team. While we were shooting, we were pulling each other's hair out. But now that the film is released and people have loved it so much, the performances have been appreciated. I think every department, right from the camera work to the direction, to the acting, to the costume, the art design, everything has been appreciated so much that it all just feels so worth it now. I mean, it was a very difficult film to shoot, being set in the 1950s and all that, but it's all worth it and it's been fantastic.
And all the reviews which spoke about you being the highlight of the film and saying that they couldn't imagine any other contemporary doing that role because it was very old world, it was very old fashioned, it had certain, it had a certain, calm to it. How are you, I mean, these great reviews, how are you like reading them and like what's happening with you?
I think I sprung a surprise on everyone with a film like this because it came at a time when I was doing films like Dabanng, like Rowdy, Rathore, like Son of Sardar, which are all commercial potboilers, typical masala films. With a film like Lootera came at that time where I was doing all this, and I just felt very strongly about this role right from the start. As soon as Vikram started narrating it to me, I felt like this is something that I should do, that I want to do, that I can do. And I did it, and I guess it released at a time when nobody was expecting something like that from me. And boo.
But did you also have like any kind of point to prove with Lootera? Because you're often sort of talked about as this person who's in many 100 crore films, but who's almost incidental to the fortunes of these films.
Yeah, but I've been truly fortunate right from the very beginning, right from my first film. People never doubted my acting abilities. Nobody said that this girl cannot act. What I've been told is that, okay, yes, she has a presence. She does well in the films she's been a part of. She plays her role well. Whatever she's meant to do, she does. Nobody really doubted that. Also, what I noticed was that people expected a bit more out of me because they felt that I could do it, but I was not doing it. So I think that is where Lootera worked for me, where I stepped into a role which was very, very demanding, very challenging, and I pulled it off.
And pulled it off very well. I'm very interested in the fact that you're an untrained actor. You haven't really gone through acting classes in the sense you just jumped in front of the camera for Dabanng. So what is your approach to acting? For instance, the role in Lootera, how did you approach it?
I don't know. Okay. I don't have an answer to your question. I'm actually a very instinctive person. When I go in front of the camera, if there's a scene that's given to me, I always think of it, how would I do it? How would a person perform this thing, say stuff like that in their day-to-day lives. I observe people. I notice them. I notice nuances. I pick something up from here, pick something up from there, put it in with a mix of me. It's like a whole, like putting it in a blender and mixing it all up. It's just very instinctive. For Lootera, believe it or not, I've never seen a black and white film in my life.
Okay.
And here I am shooting a film which is based in the 1950s. What do I do? Again, I just spoke to my director, who is a mad genius, most talented person ever. I think his brain is always working. What I did with Pakhi was entirely the result of speaking to him, understanding from him what the character is, how she would be when she is happy, how she would be when she's sad, how she would be when she's sick, how she would be when she's falling in love. Just understood from him what he wants, because he is so close to the character. Having written the script also. I don't think there was a better approach to it than that.
So you're a director's actor?
Absolutely.
So you just leave it to the director?
Absolutely, I leave it to them.
Okay,
Makes my job easier. I do what I feel is right. I do what I feel I can do with the values that I've been brought up with. Nothing is imposed on me in any way. I do what I want to do, how I want to do it.
Sonakshi, for someone who's, part of a film family and who's a star kid, so to say, how come it is well documented that you didn't want to become a film star, but for star kids it's almost a default setting that they will be part of films in some way. So how is it that this was like not something you thought of?
For most of them, yes. For us, we were never really brought up as star kids. We've had a very normal upbringing. We were not, we used to rarely visit our father's shoots. We used to rarely go for film parties. So, it was very, very normal. We were not like made to feel that we're in the midst of all this. And plus, growing up, if you saw me, I never looked anything close to what I look now, and I didn't weigh anything close to as I do now. So, when I saw the mirror, I never really thought of myself as somebody who could become an actor. I was a confident person, yes. I was happy doing my own thing. When I was in school, I used to play a lot of sports. When I went to college, I did my commerce. Then I studied fashion designing for 3 years. It never crossed my mind.
So, you say that as a teenager, you were not terribly conscious of how you looked or how much you weighed and all of that. Right now, when you're a film star, how vain are you now? Because vanity is part of the makeup, so the mental makeup of a film star. How important is that reflection in the mirror now for you?
I always think that I am a misfit in that area, because I'm not vain. I cannot sit for more than half an hour, 45 minutes to finish the whole process of hair and makeup. I don't like staying inside my vanity van for too long. I want to just get out and work. In between shots, they come with a mirror for the touch-up. It irritates me. Go away. Come only if I call you. Come and fix it if you think something's wrong. So in that aspect, I am a bit of a misfit. I mean, I've never been, growing up, yes, I've never been conscious of my looks. So I don't think it doesn't creep in even now. I'm very comfortable with the way I am. I'm very happy with the way I am. Day in and day out, I get bombarded about questions about my weight, about the way I look, about how I'm different, this and that. It doesn't bother me.
Does it free you up as an actor as well, this being so comfortable in your skin?
I guess so, yes, it does. There is one less thing to think about and concentrate on what you're actually meant to do, which is your work, which is your acting, which is what I'm here to do. So it just, it frees you.
And for someone, like we mentioned before, for someone who's not a trained actor, who didn't take any acting classes, you're a confident actor. That's been there from your first film. I've noticed that about you. In the frames that you were with Salman Khan, you had that certain degree of confidence. Where does that confidence come from?
That, I believe, is inherited.
It's in the genes.
From my father.
Okay.
He is a very, very confident person. He's a very good speaker. He is, whatever he does with conviction. And we've seen him do that all our lives, I guess you just imbibe the good things, and that's where I think that comes from.
And when you stepped into movies, even though it was not a conscious decision, is there any one thing that he told you to sort of negotiate this rather tricky world? Like you were stepping into it. Was there any parent would give you advice,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
especially your dad, given who he is, was there anything particular that he told you?
Well, it was a decision that just got made for itself. Like when I was offered Dabanng, I didn't have to go to my dad saying that, Papa, please let me act, I really want to do this film. My dad didn't tell me, oh, they've come, Salman or Baz have come with this film and you have to do it. It was just understood that I'm doing it. I think the only thing that he's really followed in his life and something that's really worked for him is that he's always stood out. He's always been different.
Yeah.
He's always been that, he's got such a wonderful struggle story. It's truly amazing how he's made his life. A small town boy,
Yes.
a boy from Patna, tall, dark, lanky, with a scar on his face,
unconventional, yeah.
starting out as a villain, becoming a hero, a well-respected actor, a veteran today. It's amazing. I think he just said that if you can't be the best, be different, and that's something that's really worked for him. And there's no pressure to be someone or do this well or do the right thing, wrong thing, this, that. There's no pressure, which is something that also frees you up and just makes you want to perform to the best of your ability.
That sort of preempted my next question. I was going to ask you that, given that female actors in the industry have a shorter shelf life than your male counterparts, how important is it for you to sort of carve a niche for yourself and not be interchangeable? Because that happens a lot to female actors. They're like, ye bhi kar sakti hai, this one can also do it.
Yeah.
Does that play on your mind, and how important is that for you?
Well, no, it doesn't, because to some extent I believe that I have created a niche for myself where today if a film is set in a certain space, if a film is earthy, if a film is rustic, my directors, producers have told me that the first name that comes to their mind is my name.
Okay.
So that in itself is
A niche.
a niche.
Yeah.
Which I'm really happy about. I'm proud of the kind of films that I've done, the kind of audiences that I've garnered, and so that doesn't play on my mind. I don't conform to any pressures of never have, of looking a certain way, of behaving a certain way, of doing a certain thing, not doing a certain thing. I do what I feel is right. I do what I feel I can do with the values that I've been brought up with. Nothing is imposed on me in any way. I do what I want to do, how I want to do it.
But is that? I mean, I don't think it is. But is that a limitation? Do you sometimes feel that you'll get typecast?
It would be a limitation, and I would feel like that if I was sitting at home and not doing anything.
Okay.
Today, every year I have 4 to 5 releases.
Absolutely.
I'm working every single day of my life without a break. In fact, yesterday I've shot for 17 hours at a stretch, and I've come here at 9 o'clock in the morning for another shoot. So it's, I'm not worried about that. I'm happy, I enjoy my work. I do it with no complaints. I love waking up in the morning, coming
And
to
going
work,
to work?
and just slogging it out all day and going back home tired just to hit the bed.
And what drives you? Are you a naturally competitive person?
I'm not at all competitive.
Okay, then what's making you work 17
I'm
hours
not
at a stretch?
competitive. I'm not ambitious as people would think I am. Like I said, I enjoy it. At this point of time, everything has a place and time. Everything has a shelf life, like you said.
Yeah.
So I'm making hay while the sun shines. Sun shines.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're making hay while the sun
Yeah.
shines. It's shining really brightly
Yeah.
right now.
So this is my time. This is my time to work. I'm young. I'm fit. I'm able to do my work well, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
That means you don't keep tabs on your contemporaries, and
I don't have the inclination. I don't have the patience. I don't have the time to think of anything else other than my own work. I don't know what my contemporaries are doing. If I barely get the chance to go and watch a film because I'm shooting or doing something else. If a promo really excites me, I'll make time for it.
Okay.
I manage to go for a screening or two once in a while, but that's about it. Otherwise, I don't know what anybody else is doing. I love watching commercial masala
Okay. So the
films.
Dabangs and
Yeah,
the Rowdy
the Dabangs and the
Rathores.
Rowdies. I love going to the theatre and watching them and like whistling and hooting and clapping. So automatically I enjoy being a part of those films. That will always be my first love.
Oh really?
Yeah, definitely. Then comes a film like Lootera.
How easy or how tough is it to remain sort of normal? You know, is it how difficult is it to retain onto normalcy? I'm not saying people are
Yeah,
dysfunctional, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't know any other way to be. It's just you take it as a job. I think if you start
taking it too seriously.
taking it too seriously, getting delusional about it that you're doing some great world peace deed or something. I don't know. You're not the president of the United States. You're an actor doing a job. It's just a job at the end of the day.
So you look at it as a job that you're doing rather well.
And,
So
and which I love to do.
and you never want to be temperamental and play the diva. Come on, you can enjoy this. No?
You know what? In fact, I was shooting yesterday, and like I said, we shot for a really long time.
Yeah.
And Imran Khan, my co-star in Once Upon a Time in
yes.
Mumbai, he was standing next to me. He's like, "Listen, throw a tantrum, no?" So I said, "I can't. I think you will probably know how to throw tantrum more than me." So I don't know. I'm patient as a person. I will not throw an unnecessary tantrum. If there is a problem, I will address it. If not, I'm very laid back. I'm very chilled out. I do my work, I let other people do theirs.
You don't get taken for granted then?
No, I don't, because
You're not a pushover.
I'm not a pushover. Yeah, there's a fine line between being a pushover and being, like, let people take you for granted. I mean, it's how you project yourself. I know that when I come on set, I mean business. I want to do my work. I want to get the job done. I want to go home.
But the fact that you're from a film family, when you're in the film industry, the kind of criticism you can get, the kind of stuff that is written about you, they're tabloids. How much, the fact that you have a support system, how much easier did it become, therefore?
Well, it does get easier in some ways. I think being born into a film family, you've seen it all right from the very beginning. So it's not something that is new to you, and it's not something that you can get taken away with. That really helps. Tabloids and all, yes, they do tend to write some utter rubbish sometimes, but you either laugh it off or you pull your hair out over it. I choose to laugh it off. Luckily, my family has been in the industry for so long, they know how it works. They have been written about in the past. Now it's my turn.
But the first time it happened to you must have been very disconcerting, no?
Well, I thought, that why would people do that? Why would somebody I don't even know want to write nasty things about me? But then you understand, people are only doing their job as I am doing mine. My job is to present myself to you in my films. Your job is to write about me. So, good, bad, ugly, it could be anything.
I'll deal with it.
Yeah, you deal with it. I mean, it's better to be written about, spoken about, than to not be
That is true.
written about or spoken about.
And
That would mean I'm not doing my job well.
Yeah, that means people don't want to know about you, or they don't.
Yeah.
They're not interested. You're not interesting enough to be.
Exactly. So you take it as a compliment that people want to know about you. That's why people write about it.
That's great. That's a positive attitude. And you're often in the thick of this debate, which personally I find a little sexist, which is size 0 versus real women have curves. Now that kind of, I think it's a sexist debate, because you're reducing an actor to a numeric figure.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that? Because each time, you're supposed to defend yourself by saying, but you know what, I'm a real woman, but it's okay, even skinny women are real,
No, I mean, I've stopped answering questions about this particular topic, because it's a non-issue.
It is.
We are Indian women. Everybody looks different. Nobody is supposed to look a certain way, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, different shapes and sizes make the world. I've just stopped. Take it in one ear, take it out the other.
Now, post Lootera, how are you sort of picking your films? There's a certain audience expectation and a certain critical expectation from you. I know you're pretty calm and composed about everything to do with your career, but how are you now picking your roles? Have you become more picky?
No. You know what? Like I said, I'm instinctive. I like to do what I feel like doing. I love watching commercial masala
Okay. So
films.
the Dabangs and
Yeah,
the Rowdy
the Dabangs and the
Rathores.
Rowdies. I love going to the theatre and watching them and like whistling and hooting and clapping. So automatically I enjoy being a part of those films. That will always be my first love.
Oh really?
Yeah, definitely. Then comes a film like Lootera, which sort of brings a lot of appreciation your way. So I think the right way to go now would be to keep a balance between both the kind of films. I can't shut one out completely and do only one particular kind. I think again depends on the role. If I believe it suits me. Lootera was a once in a lifetime role. I don't think a role like
No,
that.
I'm sure you'll get lots of good roles.
You know what? No.
No?
It's really rare to come across a role like that. So I'm still waiting, by the way. And I signed Lootera 2 years back.
And in the 2 years after Lootera?
Nothing like that. Nothing as engaging or better has come up.
But is that a problem that most women actors face? That these really good nuanced roles are not there
Yeah,
for you?
you know what? No, earlier maybe, but now not so much. Now there are a lot of films that sort of give as much importance to female actors. So I think we're moving into a very good space when it comes to cinema, when it comes to roles.
But
So yeah, I'm waiting for the right kind. I guess you can say I've become selfish after doing Lootera. I mean, it has to be as good or better. So I'm maybe, you could say, yeah, I am being a bit picky in that aspect. But yeah, I'm doing my commercial films in that.
yeah, so in the meanwhile, you don't mind doing your
yeah.
100 crore films.
Absolutely not. Why would I mind?
But you don't get bored with that. You're quite happy.
Not
doing
at all.
that.
I love. They're most exciting. I love the singing, the dancing, the funny dialogues you have to say. It's a lot of fun.
So you're completely filmy. Actually, you were always meant to be an actor.
Yeah,
you were just hiding away
that's
somewhere.
so strange because people keep telling me that. In fact, yeah, people keep telling me that you're very filmy.
Actually, I think you were just hiding away somewhere, and you were not
Yeah.
acknowledging the fact. And this is where you were meant to be.
Deep down inside, yes.
Doing these pesa vasool.
Oh yes, I believe
complete
this is what I
entertainment.
was meant to be doing.
All right, Sonakshi, it was lovely talking to you, and all the best for the rest of the movies which are coming up in this year.
Thank you so
There's
much.
a lot to see of you, and we look forward to it.
Thank you.